Morning.
So primarily the work that we've been asked to do is to post-wildfire. One of our customers has some infrastructure that they just want to make sure isn't going to be at risk due to landslide. After a wildfire, you get a lot of, it takes to earth, scorches it. Things that weren't loose are now loose. So they've asked us to go take our UAV technology, fly the right sensor to give them just a topographic overview of the area, just so they can then model what the new landscape might do. We've got a good one today. We have a previous customer that has come to us and they're looking for, obviously it's Colorado wildfires. They're worried about ground stability around their infrastructure. But essentially what they're looking for is they want a terrain model so that they can model sort of the debris flows. They're trying to protect water quality, trying to make sure the soil is stable, make sure there's no erosion, runoff risks, because it is near a major highway and near a major water source for Denver. Kind of a big deal. They want to make sure this is here. They're not calling it a bear team, but they're asking us to give them the data so that they could do their own assessment. I'll give you the lowdown. The biggest challenge of this mission is the topography. It's where we're collecting. High winds and aircraft don't mix. They don't mix very well. These are smaller aircraft with, they're still expensive payloads. The challenge here is being able to collect the data such that all of it is uniform. So the plan view, obviously this is in a canyon area. Here are the canyon walls. We have AOI below that. We have both a 4-lane highway and we have a river. Let me show you what this looks like from the side because it's a little gnarly. So if I'm looking at this wall, it looks, so down here's the road. The wall is this. So we almost have a vertical.
Okay.
And it's about, just from Google, it looked like it was about 1,000 feet in relief. So from here, about 1,000 feet. It's about 40 acres. So obviously we're thinking of, what are the things that we're thinking of immediately for this, regardless of products? Like what are some things that we're looking at?
I think safety is going to be a big concern. We're definitely going to need some visual observers staked out around the AOI area.
So I think safety is one of the major concerns that I have. Safety of the crew. Secondarily, making sure we get the ground control set that we can hit the accuracy numbers that the client is requiring.
Yeah.
Jason, do we know what decisions they're trying to make as a result of this data and what specifically they want for a data set?
Yes, so let's talk about the deliverables. So they obviously want the point cloud. They want that in LAS format. They want an ortho image. They want that as a geotiff. And we're going to need GCPs, ground control points. So those are the products. It's a basic point cloud, doesn't need to be colorized. So we have a couple different options.
So at this point, they're concerned that there may be mixed debris flows that come from the top area and move into the canyon.
Yes, they're concerned of all of these debris flows coming down into existing infrastructure, onto the highways, into the water. So let me talk about the best part. Are you ready? They want all of this in 48 hours.
I think about an overall operational approach and how we relate to the client. So the client has a need. They have a short-term time frame that they need. So we want to make sure that we're able to get into the place they want us to be. We have access, that we have the right equipment, that we're able to collect and do it right the first time, and that we're able to do it safely, effectively, and that we maintain compliance with all the other entities that would be involved to make sure that we're operating as a responsible operator.
From today or from from deployment?
From deployment. So once we collect, they want the data in 48 hours. Okay. So we're going to decide based on weather and all of the other things that we need to take a look at when we deploy, when it's going to be safe, and when it's going to be amenable to the collection conditions.
Okay.
And then they want the data in 48 hours.
Okay.
It's 40 acres, we should be okay.
All right, so let's dive in further.
Yeah.
Let's break into smaller groups and come back in an hour,
Yeah.
and let's discuss a couple of viable options.
Okay.
Sounds
Cool.
good?
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys back in a couple
All right,
hours.
see you in a little bit.
If you might have noticed in the first meeting, we didn't even talk about what platform we were going to use. We didn't talk about a drone. Yes, do we use drones? Absolutely, 100%. It's a great thing. A drone by itself is a toy. With the right sensor and the right process, it is way more than that. It is generating insights, it's seeing the world in a different way. So it's not just about flying the drone. Planning the mission to get the best data, that's what Juniper does. That's what we do best. And having that deep subject matter expertise, but also having a dialogue with the customer. So that's what makes us different, and that's why people have selected us over and over again, because we're at the top of the game.
After the first meeting, the concerns that arose was getting equipment ready.
So that means testing a lot of our equipment, make sure it's safe to go.
Things happen, things that are unexpected. You know, trying to minimize that risk at every step of the turn.